the laptop that typed by itself. After being seized by the police, it began with a routine seizure during a cyber fraud investigation in a quiet apartment. Officers entered late evening, documented everything, and confiscated a running laptop from a suspect tied to a layered financial fraud network. The device was photographed, powered down under forensic protocol, sealed in anti-static evidence packaging, and logged into custody at 2247. At that moment, it was considered inert. But 48 hours later, during forensic imaging at the cybercrime unit, analysts noticed something impossible in the logs. System activity timestamps showing keyboard input, file edits, and authentication attempts occurring after the device had already been sealed in evidence storage. The laptop, supposed to be offline and untouched, appeared active. At first, it was dismissed as metadata corruption, but repeated verification confirmed structured input sequences, not random noise. Commands were being executed, directories accessed, and scripts triggered during times when custody logs confirmed the device was locked in secured evidence vault. The owner, a freelance IT consultant, had been arrested after financial tracing linked suspicious microtransactions and proxy routing through his home network. Investigators initially expected to find wallets, scripts, or communication logs. They found those, but the real anomaly began after seizure. Forensic teams revalidated the disk image. Hashes matched perfectly, eliminating corruption. Attention turned to system logs showing activity spikes at 2:03, 3:41, 4:18, and 6:59, all well after containment. Keyboard buffer analysis showed structured sequences resembling user behavior, including command line inputs and file navigation. Authentication logs showed repeated local admin login attempts despite the system being physically offline. The behavior suggested persistent control or automated execution. Investigators then examined possible causes: remote access, malware persistence, or automated system triggers. Network logs from the evidence facility revealed something critical. Although the storage unit was air-gapped from external networks, internal maintenance routers handled environmental systems. At 3:41, when a major activity spike occurred, logs recorded an outbound packet attempt from the evidence via LAN. It was blocked, but it proved the system had initiated communication attempts while in custody. Malware analysis revealed a deeply embedded scheduled task disguised as system maintenance. It was configured to wake system processes intermittently, check network availability, attempt synchronization, and log simulated input events when offline. But a deeper layer revealed something more disturbing. Execution conditions included a flag that altered behavior depending on whether the system detected forensic containment. In other words, it behaved differently when it believed it was being analyzed. The investigation shifted to custody procedures. CCTV footage of the evidence room showed strict chain of custody compliance, biometric access logs, and no recorded entry during anomaly timestamps. Yet system activity spikes aligned with brief camera distortions at 2:57 and 4:18, where footage briefly failed due to digital interference. During those exact intervals, internal system logs recorded directory navigation and file access. No human presence was visible. Environmental checks revealed minor power fluctuations in auxiliary systems coinciding with these spikes, suggesting the system may have been waking due to external electrical triggers rather than physical access. But this still did not explain structured typing behavior. The turning point came when analysts discovered a hidden automation framework buried in the registry. It was not traditional malware, but a multi-stage execution chain designed for delayed and conditional operation. It resumed state after shutdown, triggered on environmental signals, and most critically, responded to forensic read events. Every time investigators imaged or accessed a disk, the system registered it as a trigger and generated simulated activity, typing patterns, navigation sequences, and command execution logs. The implication was clear. The laptop was not being remotely controlled after seizure. It was reacting to analysis itself. The typing was not live human input, but a behavioral decoy designed to create the illusion of active compromise during forensic observation. It was essentially a counterforensic mechanism, built in advance to mislead investigators by generating realistic system activity whenever the device was studied. The most unsettling realization was that the system was not breaking containment. It was responding to scrutiny. The owner's intent, whether personal or part of broader design, had resulted in a device that produced misleading forensic artifacts under investigation conditions. The case was reclassified. The issue was no longer unauthorized access during custody, but reactive system design capable of simulating presence post-seizure. Evidence protocols were immediately revised. Air gap systems were reinforced, forensic imaging procedures updated, and behavioral detection tools improved to distinguish real-time execution from triggered simulation. The suspect was never directly linked to external post-seizure control, but forensic analysis confirmed advanced technical sophistication in system automation design. What began as a financial fraud case evolved into a deeper lesson in digital forensics. Evidence was no longer passive once seized. It could be reactive, adaptive, and intentionally deceptive even in isolation. The laptop did not continue typing after seizure because someone was controlling it in real time. It did so because it had been built to respond to the act of being investigated. And in the end, the most disturbing conclusion was not that the laptop moved after being seized, but that it only appeared to move when someone was watching it. The laptop sat untouched in evidence, but the truth inside it was still trying to escape.